The Caribbean is the obvious winter beach vacation, but for a surprising number of people, the Pacific Coast actually offers better and easier options. In this video, I'm showing you 7 Pacific beach vacations that can be cheaper than the Caribbean, including a few shockingly affordable options, and in many cases just as relaxing. Before we start, here's a quick look at what's coming. A Pacific Coast beach that feels surprisingly Caribbean, an overlooked Central American surf town, a legit all-inclusive outside the Caribbean, and the easiest warm weather beach trip you can book right now. I'm Roger from priceoftravel.com. Let's do this. To be honest, Mazatlán is actually my third favorite of the 3 Mexican beach resort towns on this list, but I'm starting with it anyway because the value here is honestly insane. The beaches are quite nice, the city is easy to get around, and if your main goal is staying right on the beach for a price that barely feels real, Mazatlán should be the first place you look. When I started searching for resorts here, I found dozens of well-reviewed beachfront hotels for under $100 per night, and that's something you're basically never going to see anywhere in the Caribbean anymore. For this video, I picked a hotel everyone recognizes, the Courtyard by Marriott Mazatlán Beach Resort. Ocean view rooms with a balcony were coming right in around $100 per night with a 9.0 review average, which is just wild for a name-brand beachfront resort. Now yes, this particular price was for a midweek stay, and weekends can be a bit more, but even then, Mazatlán has so many good options that the prices feel like something your parents or grandparents used to pay back in the day. It may not be the trendiest beach town in Mexico, but if your priority is value, real beach resorts, real reviews, and real savings, Mazatlán punches way above its weight. Puerto Vallarta is actually my favorite of the 3 Mexican beach destinations on this list, and that's because it gives you more flexibility than almost anywhere else. Unlike Mazatlán, which is mostly about pure value, Puerto Vallarta lets you choose exactly what kind of trip you want. It has a beautiful historic town center with great food, art galleries, and a real local feel, plus long stretches of beach lined with everything from luxury resorts to small family-run hotels. For what you get, it's not quite as cheap as Mazatlán, but it's still excellent value and you can pretty much name your own price here. On the budget-friendly end, a solid example is Los Picos Hotel Suites in Bucerías, starting around $134 per night with an 8.4 review average right on the beach. It's not flashy, but it's clean, well-reviewed, and exactly the kind of place where you feel like you're getting more than you paid for, especially in high season. What makes Puerto Vallarta special is that if you decide to spend more, you really do get more. There are beachfront resorts nearby for $300, $400, or even $500 a night, and they look fantastic, but if your goal is a cheaper tropical beach vacation that still feels authentic and fun, Puerto Vallarta absolutely delivers. Even if you don't stay near the historic center, I always recommend spending time there. And for the best hotel value, look just a little north or south of downtown. That's where prices drop and the experience often gets better. Cabo has picked up a reputation as a luxury destination in recent years, and honestly that's not wrong. It's become the go-to Christmas and winter escape for wealthy Southern Californians, celebrities, and anyone looking for high-end resorts with dramatic desert meets ocean scenery. But what often gets overlooked is that Cabo still offers genuinely good value even in high season, including beachfront resorts that cost far less than most people expect. If you haven't been before, Cabo is really 2 different places. Cabo San Lucas is centered around the marina, with nightlife, restaurants, and a surprisingly upscale but still fun atmosphere. San Jose del Cabo, closer to the airport, is quieter and more refined, with larger beach resorts and lots of private villas. It's where many celebrities actually stay. Both are great, but they make for very different trips, so it's worth choosing based on the vibe you want. For value, one standout option is Solmar Resort, with rooms starting around $193 per night and a strong 8.8 review average. It's right on the beach, yet still close enough to the marina and downtown Cabo San Lucas that you're not isolated. That combination is harder to find here than most people realize. There are cheaper places and there are much more expensive ones, but overall Cabo still delivers excellent value for the quality, especially compared to Caribbean resorts charging $400 to $600 a night for something similar. Quick break, if this kind of practical travel research is your thing, a like really helps, and you might want to subscribe. I do a lot of digging so you don't have to. If you want something different from the big Mexican resort towns, this is where things get really interesting. The Guanacaste region of Costa Rica is one of the easiest non-Caribbean beach areas to reach from the US because it has its own international airport. You can fly in non-stop from several American cities and be at a beach town that still feels relaxed and local not long after landing. Costa Rica is famous for rainforests, national parks, and wildlife, but what many people don't realize is how good the Pacific beaches are here. The coast faces west, which means dramatic sunsets every night, warm water, and a laid-back surf town vibe that keeps people coming back year after year. It feels casual, outdoorsy, and unpretentious in a way that's very different from the Caribbean resort scene. There are plenty of simple and affordable places to stay in Guanacaste, but for this list I went for something that really shows the value you can get. The Tango Mar Beachfront Boutique Resort and Villas starts around $276 per night and has an outstanding 9.4 review average. It's a true beachfront resort with spacious rooms, private jacuzzis, gorgeous grounds, and a setting that feels secluded without being remote. For how easy this region is to reach, and for how beautiful and relaxed it feels once you're there, Guanacaste offers exceptional value. If you want a tropical beach vacation that's a little more nature-focused and a little less packaged, this is a fantastic alternative to the Caribbean. It feels like a long time since I've done a video that didn't talk about Caribbean all-inclusive resorts, so let's keep that streak alive with a place you've probably never even heard of. Playa Blanca is a beach resort area about an hour west of Panama City, right on the Pacific coast. It's not a town you visit for culture or nightlife, it exists almost entirely for big, self-contained beach resorts. And in many ways it feels surprisingly similar to the Caribbean, with just fewer Americans and Canadians around. The standout here is the Hotel Riu Playa Blanca All-Inclusive, with rates around $266 per night and an 8.0 review score. This is part of the massive Spanish-based Riu chain, which is known almost entirely for all-inclusive resorts. And interestingly, prices here are often lower than at their properties in Jamaica or the Dominican Republic. The resort is large, with 573 rooms, 3 big pools including one with a swim-up bar, and 4 restaurants on site. Reviews are especially strong considering the price point, and after watching a few guest videos, this is one I'd absolutely consider myself. This is not the Four Seasons, and it's not trying to be, but for the money it looks like a legitimately solid beach escape that most people don't even realize exists, and that's what makes it interesting. Next up is San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua, which is an up-and-coming beach destination that I only discovered myself while researching beach resorts under $59. That search led me to one of the most ridiculous prices I've ever seen, a $4 per night teepee on the beach, and I'll link that video below. San Juan del Sur is very much a surfer and backpacker town, so this isn't the place to come if you need a recognizable chain hotel or a polished resort experience. But if you don't, this might actually be the best value beach destination on this entire list. There are plenty of ultra-cheap options here, but one mid-priced place that really stood out to me is the 99 Surf Lodge, with rates around $118 per night and an excellent 8.8 review score. It's a beautiful property right on the beach with great reviews, and it looks far more expensive than it actually is. Getting here is easier than it sounds. Most people fly into Managua, and from there it's about a 2.5-hour drive to San Juan del Sur. Once you arrive, everything is compact, walkable, and built around the beach lifestyle. This isn't for everyone, but for surfers, budget travelers, and people who want a laid-back beach town without Caribbean prices, San Juan del Sur could be a near-perfect alternative. And finally, if you're in the mood for a winter beach vacation, the easiest option might be one you haven't even considered, and this year it might actually be the cheapest option on the entire list. You can book a 7-night cruise departing from Los Angeles or San Diego, visiting all 3 of the Mexican beach towns I mentioned earlier. I just found one on the Royal Princess in late February for $1,298 total for 2 people, including all taxes and fees, in a balcony cabin. I've done this exact itinerary 3 times myself, and it's a lot of fun. You just book a cheap flight to Southern California, San Diego is especially easy, and within an hour or 2 of landing you're unpacking in your stateroom. By the next morning, the ship is far enough south that the days are perfectly warm and sunny, and you'll have 3 full sea days to enjoy everything on board. The other 3 days are in Mexican ports, where you can take a short shuttle ride to a beach club or resort with food, drinks, and loungers included for a very reasonable price. These cruises usually run around $2,000 per couple in high season, so this deal is genuinely impressive. I'll leave a link in the description. When you break it down, you're paying under $200 per day for all meals, accommodations, and activities, with the option to split your week between tropical beach clubs ashore and the pool just steps from your room. So if you've been putting off a beach trip because Caribbean prices feel out of control, hopefully this video gave you a few real alternatives to think about. If you want all of this in one place, including the hotels I mentioned and the prices, I put together a full article on priceoftravel.com and it's linked in the description below. If one of these surprised you, let me know in the comments which one you'd actually consider, or tell me about a beach destination you love that most people overlook. And if you want more realistic, price-driven travel ideas like this, make sure you're subscribed. I've got plenty more coming.